Hi everyone, this is Ryan Hoyme, aka Massage Nerd, and right now I got Carole Osborne. Welcome, Carole.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah. So, can you tell me a little bit about the classes that you've been teaching here at the Alliance for Massage Therapy Education?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
This morning I did a presentation focused on emotional issues in the classroom, both on the teacher side as well as the students' emotional responses to education. You know, what many people will think about when they talk about that is they think, oh, well, I did a presentation on handling, students' emotional processing on the table and crying students. And of course, tears is a possible thing, but that wasn't really the focus of this presentation. The focus was on the teacher skill and understanding and attitude that's needed that embraces the physical, emotional, and intellectual aspects of what our work is, and that instruction has to reflect that part of what we do as a therapist, right? And so in the classroom, we have so many opportunities for our students to learn that. In terms of the content, right? As well as they get to learn through role model, they get to learn various approaches to the inevitable emotional reactions that come from tests and financial pressures and the effects of being in a touch intense environment.
They don't realize how much, you notice that when a student enrolls and then when they're getting close to the end, everything can so totally change and stuff. And
Exactly.
you're going to see their ups, their downs, everything.
Exactly. And that emotional tenor of that individual student, as well as the emotional tenor of the entire classroom or little pods of students in the classroom, they are a major factor in how well our content gets delivered, right? And how well our students learn the skills, because the student who's pulling back, right, with some emotional response to legs, right, isn't going to learn legs as well if they don't at least have the awareness. Oh, I've got a little about legs, or I'm a little squeamish when I have someone who's more frail and thinner, or that those kinds of responses are really
Especially, if they have issues with their own body in those areas, they're less likely to massage those areas too on clients.
They oftentimes are, or they filter their own response, of how they feel about having their head touched. When their clients, could easily be people who love having their head touched.
And when I was teaching too, feet was a big thing we had to get over and stuff.
A lot of reactions to
and
feet.
it's your soul. Everything starts there.
And sometimes our souls are a little stinkier than others. That's the way that is.
Well, I'm so glad somebody's bringing up these kind of topics, because they definitely need to be addressed then. And
they do. What was really exciting as the teacher standards were developed was that the teacher standards include in them some aspect of emotional knowledge or skill or attitude is a part of the teacher standards. Out of the standards, 3/4 of them have something that reflects this respect for and commitment to retaining the more holistic view of what we're doing. And that was one of the things that was most important to me as one of the champions of the emotional side of our work. That would be really articulated in those standards, that in our desire to be respected, that we might somehow lose our hearts, and that would be a profound loss. It'd be a profound loss to our profession. It would be a profound loss to healthcare were we to wind up
Yeah.
there.
And what I'm, excuse me, what I'm noticing is kind of a trend. I mean, things are switching and changing right now in the massage field and stuff. And I mean, I'm noticing too that there's not as many people getting into massage, and that's kind of heartbreaking. I mean, but the good thing is there's a lot of massage jobs out there. I've been hearing. So,
Right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Well, one of the places that I think there's a real potential for opening up that this ability for us to convey as teachers to our therapists, so that therapists do have this, is that, one of the things we found out in looking a little more closely at what kinds of research we have to support our beliefs in benefits. We have this wonderful gold standard of the meta-analysis that Christopher Moyers did in 2004, looking at the effect of massage therapy in relationship to trait anxiety and depression, right? Was one of the things that that meta-analysis pointed to, is that we have our strongest evidence. Among the top 3 pieces of strongest evidence we have is that massage therapy is effective, perhaps as effective as a round of psychotherapy in trait anxiety and depression, right? And so, to me, then, this is a place where we can move forward into how we integrate massage therapy as part of healthcare. There's a real connection to mental health and our work, and especially when we have a dramatic increase in younger generations in depression, in anxiety, the need for medication for those things. Our suicide rate with young people is appalling.
Yep. And what I noticed about myself too is I have severe OCD, but giving massages is a great tool because it keeps me busy all the time. Because the more I can keep busy, the less I have the obsessions all the time.
Yeah.
Because it's not only benefiting the client, but it's also benefiting me the more I do.
It's a great application of your OCD, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a productive, application of it.
Yeah.
When you've been helped and trained and practiced how to use it.
Because soon after, when I was in massage school, I started weaning off my medications, and I haven't been on them since. Just because I was able to keep everything busy.
Yeah.
And now I'm not massaging as much just because I haven't taught for over a year, but I found other ways to adapt and really getting into video and things that I really love doing. It's been helping me out a lot too.
Sure.
So it's a whole learning process, but it's been a great one.
Yeah.
Because so many people think, you got this mental illness. I mean, it's going to hard to do daily life, everything else. But I mean, for me, that's just worked for me. I mean, I was able to wean off them, but I'm not recommending that. Talk to your psychologist and stuff like that. But that just worked for me, and I'm glad. And I think it made me a better person too with my mental illness too.
Yes.
I don't even consider it a mental illness in a way, just because even though it is bad in a way in certain areas, but it's actually helped me for some areas too. So.
Well, I think sometimes the things that we have like that are at times maybe perhaps our heaviest burden, but also can be a gift that we can apply.
Yeah, and have you seen the show Monk?
No.
It's OCD detective, and what he says, one of his main quotes is, "It's a gift and a curse."
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So are you going to continue this information out to the masses too then, you think?
Well, I think that the Alliance is a lovely place. It's a potent and fertile place to have discussions and as well as training. One of the things that I'm looking forward to I have somewhere between 10 and maybe 20 at the most years of professional life ahead of me, and so my considerations go to what turns me on the most, what am I really jazzed about, as well as what's really important to me to leave behind, and one of those is a legacy that can be built on, not some tidy little something that I'm, giving, but
Yeah.
what can I put out there? So, yeah, I think I enjoy working with faculty to develop their ability to attend to the emotional.
And it's only going to make their students stronger, and then once they get on the workforce, even better,
Exactly.
kind of thing. So
And
it all starts there.
It does. And
Yeah.
you know what? If your class is in emotional rebellion of some sort or another, the content doesn't come out. You don't have a chance to cover
Yep.
all of the strokes of effleurage
Yep.
and possibilities of effleurage or Swedish massage or the trigger points or whatever your content is.
Yep.
When you have students who are so stirred up, right, that they're not really taking in information.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And how do people get a hold of you for more information with this?
Well,
Yeah.
my website is bodytherapyeducation.com, and I've been doing a lot of training of massage therapists, which I'm still committed to doing, but I'm going to move into some more small group supervision, small group practice consulting, and working. I'm excited about working with therapists who are 3 to 5 years into their careers,
Yep.
just at that point
Yep.
at which there's a transformation that can happen there, and that transformation is from being a technical practitioner to being an artist, right?
Yeah.
So there's that transformation that's possible, and at 3 to 5 years, that's also the place where we're losing so many.
Yeah, it's sad.
And one of the reasons
Yeah.
I think for that is that there's a lack of attention to the emotional content of being a therapist and what it's like on an emotional level to manage a practice, regardless of what setting it's in.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about doing some mentoring and some supervision and some coaching in that way.
You can't wait to see more information come from you in the future and stuff. So it's just amazing. And if I could just borrow your brain for a day, that's all I ask.
Will you trade?
Yeah.
You'll trade? Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Good. I'm going to pick it.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much,
You're
Carole.
welcome. Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.